But all righty. So I'll go ahead and call this meeting of the North Carolina chapter of NENA to order. And before we get started, I would like to welcome Mr. Shelton Hill, the Assistant County Manager for Robeson County, to say a few words of welcome.
Thank you again for joining us today. My name is Shelton Hill. I'm Assistant County Manager here. Lived and worked here all my life. It's been a home and a great place. It's been good to me and good for me. So we welcome you in joining us today at the Emergency Operations Center, which also houses our primary peace cell. We're very proud of our facility here. It's served a great purpose for us many times over the years. We're very thankful that you're able to join us and enjoy it as well. Truly an honor to have you in attendance here as we host the November 2022 chapter of NENA and APCO here. And we hope that you'll take an opportunity to look around as you visit our county and see the things that we're doing to try to more effectively serve our citizens and residents here and those that travel through. We sincerely hope that you're enjoying the visit. We want to do everything we can to extend every level of hospitality to make you feel welcome, and also know when you've gone back home that you had a pleasurable time in being here. We would like to turn it back over to Jason Compton. And again, I thank you for allowing me an opportunity to welcome you to Robeson County. God bless you.
I'm going to take a seat here so that I'm not in everybody's way as they come back and forth to the podium here. And we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us both online and here and in person. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Normally, this would be a roll call. I would hand over to our secretary, Candy Miller. She is sick and unable to join us today. So I will run through our roll call here. I am Jason Compton, the chapter president this year of North Carolina NENA. And I will call out your name, and if you'll just please give a wave and say that you're here so everybody knows who you are. Ryan Chambers, our first vice president. Here. Our second vice president, Rick Thomas. Our immediate past president, Alan Kress. Our treasurer, Jameson Sears, is traveling with her family today. She's not with us. Our chapter secretary, as I mentioned, Candy Miller, is sick today. Our Western Region representative, Ryan Drum. Here. Our Central Region representative, Corey Bodie, joining online.
Here.
And our Eastern Region representative joining us virtually as well, Mr. Bill French.
I'm here.
Bill. This is to my left here is our private sector representative, Jennifer Taylor. Our NC 911 board representative is traveling with her husband for her anniversary this week, Miss Donna Wright. And our board member at large is also traveling. We've got a lot of travelers this week. Mr. Victor Williams is not with us today, but we do have our wellness directors. So Western Region Wellness Director, Monica Howard. Our Central Region Wellness Director, Ashley Warner. Our Eastern Region Wellness Director, Kaylee Green. And our media and technical committee chair, Stephen Smith from Iredell. I believe he may be online. I don't have the attendees list. Stephen, are you with us? We'll now go into our special recognitions. So I realize that if you're online, we can't see you stand, and you're not seeing all the kind of folks here in front of us. But if you're here in the room with us, if you will, please stand or at least give a wave so we can see who you are. We have NENA Hall of Fame members. You stand. NENA past presidents. EMPs, emergency number professionals. And that'll get it. our CMCP or Center Manager Certification Program graduates. All right, and our first time attendees. First time attendees. Find us after we've got a little something for you. All right, and then any of our National NENA board members, I know we have Melanie Jones. Look, I'm gonna say. Melanie Jones here in the room with us. I believe we have a couple of others joining us online, so thank you for joining us. All right, we'll move right along into our consent agenda. I'll take care of this. We have minutes posted from our September meeting and High Point have been posted online. Our treasurer's report from Jameson was submitted in writing. We currently have $3,769.18 in the North Carolina NENA checking account and $28,650.71 in savings. And I will gladly entertain a motion to approve both the minutes and the treasurer's report. You have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, I'm going to keep my report for the president's report super short today. We have a good agenda planned for you. We also have the regional reports and a few other things to get through. So I'll just keep it short and sweet and say that I'm super proud of our board and our chapter this year. We are growing in multiple ways. And in just a few short months since we have kicked off our wellness efforts, they are really taking off in some extraordinary ways. We have deployed our peer team to Wake County, which you'll hear about later. Retreat in January, which you'll hear quite a bit about later. I will say that we have 15 seats for retreat. And we thought maybe we'll get 20 applications, and so we got 62. And we're going through the assessment process to do that and choose those folks. We are doing a rigorous review, and we have some third parties coming in that are going to help us make final decisions. There are a lot of really wonderful applications, and it's hard to choose. But we'll be doing interviews with finalists in that process, and we'll be shipping information out from those interviews and the applications out to some folks who gladly volunteered to help us rank those and get our final decisions made. So those will be, you'll be hearing from us if you've applied later this week. All right. And with that, I'll stop my remarks and welcome Ms. Melanie Jones up to give both the National NENA report and then to move into our 911 board and legislative report.
Can everybody hear me okay? So from the National NENA report, our standards and best practices conference will be in Clearwater, Florida, January the 16th to the 19th. Our 911 Goes to Washington event will be February the 26th to March the 1st. Registration opened this week for that event. That is my favorite NENA event. I have shared many times. You get FaceTime with your congressmen and your senators. It's invaluable to create those relationships for your PSAP personnel. The annual conference for NENA will be June the 17th to June 22nd in Grapevine, Texas. The call for papers ended on October the 31st. Our membership renewal season kicked off on October the 1st, and I'm very proud to announce that National NENA now has over 19,000 members. Very, very happy with that total. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all this calendar report so that nobody misses this event. On July the 2nd of 2024, I will be sworn in as the National NENA president, and I would really like a good contingent to be there from North Carolina. So that is an odd time for National NENA. I know July 4th week is a busy time, so I'm telling you now so there's no conflicts. Okay? All right. It's in Orlando, Kissimmee, Florida. Yeah. So, do we have any of the newly named EMPs in the room? There were several in North Carolina. You stand up, please.
Come up here so they can see.
Yes. So I just want Haley to just briefly tell y'all how hard that exam is, because it is not easy.
It was hard. I mean, I have a master's degree and it was hard stuff I've taken in my adult career of any schooling or anything like that. It's a lot of independent studying, but there are a lot of study groups out there and I learned a lot, especially about the administrative side as a floor telecommunicator. The information that I learned is so valuable to helping the growth of our center. So you reach out, there are a lot of vendors that do sponsor because it is an expensive test. Put in the work and take it, those little 3 letters after your name really feel good.
And what other 3 letters did you just get?
What?
What other 3 letters?
Stealing my words.
RPL? That was like 5 months
She's
ago.
running away. So, everybody give Kaylee a round of applause. She's in addition to being our wellness director, she's a frontline telecommunicator at New Hanover County. And, I think she's probably one of the few in the state and the nation that are in her position and have both her RPL and EMP. I don't think she realizes quite how special that is and how proud of we are of her. So congratulations.
Yeah.
And once you obtain that EMP certification, I highly recommend you keep up with the recertification process so that you're not caught at the end of 4 years trying to scramble to get everything done. You can just save the form online and go in and enter things as you do them. It makes it really, really easy. So does anybody have any questions about the National NENA report before I go into the State 911 Board report? All right. So we're very happy to announce we only have 1 PSAP remaining to migrate to the EZNet, and that will be Anson County, and we are hoping that they will migrate in Q1 of 2023. All 100 jurisdictions have uploaded their GIS data. All localities are now in maintenance mode. There are several PSAPs past 90 days of updating. Staff and the state GIS office are working with them to formulate a regular cadence for uploads. Entrado and AT&T are addressing Viper 3 issues, and we are seeing improvements. They are developing a plan for a merge of Vipers 1, 2, and 3. The scope of work is being developed to include time and a report for lab environment. They anticipate the merge to occur in the Q1 of 2023. By the end of November, the state will have the first in the nation on the AT&T EZNet end-to-end IP call delivery from T-Mobile. The city of Lumberton takes the honor of this deployment. Kudos to you, Bill French. The
Yes, I
911
hear-
board
I hear
will
you.
hold the annual work session meeting on Friday, December the 2nd. It will be here in Lumberton. The goals for the year as presented by each committee will be approved, along with the 2023 calendar of meetings. Notification of the estimated distribution will be disseminated following board's approval on December the 2nd. The PSAPs will receive that by the end of December. Fiscal year 2023 grant cycle has kicked off. Applications are due by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, December the 1st. Just a reminder that this is a B cycle for this year's grant program. The fiscal year 2024 cycle will open in April. All except one 2021 revenue expenditure report has been finalized. Staff is now focusing on 2022 reports and are 30% complete with reviews. Rapid Deploy Eclipse Data Analytics has been fully implemented. All PSAP should have completed training, but it is still available through virtual means. Please let your regional coordinator know if there are training needs or if you have identified any concerns with reporting capabilities. Rapid Deploy is collaborating to meet those reporting needs. Be watching for hold the date emails for the upcoming PSAP cybersecurity tabletop exercises in May. Plans are being finalized at an upcoming planning meeting. The 911 board, CISA, the state chief risk officer, North Carolina DEM, and National Guard are partnering for this initiative. Efforts are underway to launch a statewide telecommunicator recruitment public service announcement following board approval of the Education Committee recommendation. Work continues by both board and college staff on curriculum creation of the recently announced 911 Communications and Operations Associate's degree at RCC. Excuse me. First class of students will follow in the fall of 2023. They'll start in the fall of 2023. Please let your regional coordinator know if you or any of your staff may have interest in this degree program. And the board and staff would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas. Does anybody have any questions for me? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you.
All right. I am going to see if we can not have an echo this time and welcome Mr. Greg, our North Carolina SWIC, for the SWIC report.
Good morning, everybody. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
We can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Greg Hauser, North Carolina Emergency Management. And I represent you guys as the statewide interoperability coordinator. I'm honored to do so every day. And thank you guys for your support. So the couple things. Just talking about training first. We just recently completed a incident tactical dispatcher TERT training in Hendersonville in the lead up to the DuPont rescue experience. We had 16 students, and we had 5 students take part in the exercise following on to get their passbooks started. So the next offering for that training will be the week of December 12th in Elizabeth City. So it is on Terms. If you guys don't have a Terms account, just Google that, North Carolina Terms, and then sign up for that class. So, and that'll be hosted by Pascatank Camden Emergency Management. Along those lines, working with Gerald regarding future offerings for tactical dispatcher and TERT. So looking forward to those conversations. And thank you, Brian Drum, for representing the SIEC and starting those conversations moving forward. A couple things from the interoperability perspective. PSAP data and information sharing is always important. So I know it's a big buzzword now as far as CAD information sharing, etc. So my concern is more towards the information sharing. So there's a lot of information flying around, especially during disasters or multi-jurisdictional events. Just a reminder, we do have that talk group on the State Viper Network, a statewide call. So don't be afraid of that. Please tell your telecommunicators that are on shift not to be scared of it. Get on there and use it as you see fit. That is tested the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the month. If you have any issues, just give us a shout. Give me a shout. We can help you get those through. Just kind of an upward look at the national initiatives from the National Council of Statewide Interoperability Coordinators. I represent Region 4, which is North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky on that group. And one of the 2023 initiatives is going to be 911 staff and PSAP wellness. So staffing, see what we can do though. So looking forward to partnering with this group and APCO to see what we can do to really get in there and improve those conditions. So whatever we need to do or whatever I need to do to push that ball forward, get it over the finish line here, let me know. That's all I have. Well, let me one alibi, I guess. ESF2 continues to, we're ready, standing ready for any activations. ESF2 plan, we'll look at it at the end of this year here, coming up in December. Appreciate any input you guys may have from the PSAP coordination side. And when we do activate, just a reminder, Pookie Harris is your PSAP coordination rep to ESF2 during activations. And gonna have a couple for those that are public alerting authorities for IPAWS. Going to be tossing a meeting on the calendar in December just to update that. FEMA starting to move forward. That's starting to become more and more of a hot topic. So if your PSAP is not run out of an emergency management shop, I highly recommend making that relationship, have a cup of coffee, and start moving that forward. That's going to be a big deal moving into 2023. Getting our non-English speaking community and folks with access and accessibility needs included in that in the IPAWS platform. So that's all I have, sir. Pending any questions.
All right, thank you, Greg. Any questions for Greg? All right, thank you, sir. All right, next up is our friend Jennifer Taylor for the Commercial Advisory Council report. I believe she has a few things to share.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So we have some exciting stuff that we're re-implementing. This morning, Gary and I set up our first vendor breakfast that we've had in a couple of years. So that was exciting to get things back to normal. We do continue to, or we plan to continue to have these going forward. I really encourage everyone that can make it to come, because it's an intimate setting in which you can share your ideas and feedbacks to Gary and I, so that we can come back to the board and all the members and help make your commercial membership more effective and really work as a group and as a team and making sure you're getting back what you're putting in. And we had a lot of discussions today and ideas, and really appreciate everyone that showed up. At our next vendor breakfast, we will have our board presidents attending, so that'll be some good time for you to spend one-on-one and talk to the presidents as well. So another thing we implemented is we reached out to all commercial members this time and said, you know, if you have any news that you want to share to all the membership, please email me. So I did get a few, and I'm just going to read exactly what they wrote. The first announcement was from Mark Anna. And Mark said, in addition to my real job at APCO, I serve on the APCO Commercial Advisory Council and as a NENA working group co-chair, where we are working on developing a next generation 911 standard for managing emergency incident data objects in the next generation environment. We are developing a survey to gain some operational input on things they would like to do. We are hoping to have this survey ready to distribute to membership after the first of the year sometime. So he wanted to make sure that all the folks were on the lookout for this survey. Our next announcement was from Byron Burns at Carolina Recording Systems. And unfortunately, Byron couldn't be here today, so he wanted me to announce that our very own Gary Laughlin has been promoted to the president of Carolina Recording Systems. Congratulations. I wanted me to make sure that you all knew that he is not going anywhere, and that he will be supporting Carolina Recording Systems, North Carolina APCO, and NENA 150%. He is just elevating deserving people that'll help enhance his team. He's going to be in a different role, helping to develop and multiply his wonderful dream. So congratulations, Gary.
Thanks.
Our next announcement was from Max Miller at Miller at Work, and he's with us today. He wanted everyone to know that there are going to be some new features available in February with his chairs. They're going to have molded seats with cool foam, extra heavy-duty arms, spindle lift, casters for hardwood or carpet all in one model, optional perforated leather seat covers for extra coolness, and all seat covers replaceable in the build. So he wanted to make sure that y'all knew that. He's here today, so if you have any questions for Max, you can speak to him one-on-one. So that's the 3 announcements. I reach out to everybody multiple times, and I only got 3 responses. Please email and share the news. Our members want to hear it. It's a good way for us to know what's going on with our commercial partners and getting your information out there. So myself or Gary, reach out to us, give us feedback, share this news, and we'll share it at each meeting. Does anybody have any questions for the commercial? All right, have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. All right, next up is Mr. Chambers here for the membership committee reports.
Sorry, you wanted to announce 2 things for you as
Oh, yeah.
well. For
Oh, go right ahead. I almost forgot that as well.
Sorry.
So,
It's
okay.
sounds-
Yeah, 2 things I was gonna add to the, commercial part. My full-time job at Frontline PSS, we just launched our new policy tracker. You can visit frontlinepss.com to see more information about that. And then, on behalf of my good friends, Nathan Lee and Adam Tim, those of you who follow them on social media, they do have their conference coming up at the end of January. If anybody's interested, you can go to theDecemberLee.org. It's January 29th through February 1st. So I told them I would announce that today. So short drive from this region if anybody's interested. Membership report, as kind of echo what Melanie said, we've been working really hard to try to get more members for North Carolina NENA. We're still trying to get our exact numbers, but it does appear that our numbers are steadily going up. I cannot encourage you enough. If you're not a NENA and or APCO member, most of us carry both, to do that. It is the best way you're going to be able to build connections in this industry. Simply through the information that you get through your email makes it worth it. I know that on the NENA website, there are a lot of free webinars, and for the price point for you to be a member, you will triple your value in your membership just off that first webinar. A lot of these webinars are free to members. There are different levels of membership. So if you're a supervisor or higher, you can buy a voting membership. I encourage you guys, the agency though, to look at the group memberships, whether it's for the private sector or the public sector. You can buy a group membership. It allows you several votes when it comes to elections here, the national and the state level. And then also a lot of memberships for your frontline TC so they can access that training. If you're a frontline telecommunicator in the room and maybe your agency doesn't have the funding or in place to give you a membership, it's $55 a year. Just the amount of contacts and the information you'll receive through your email is going to be so worth it in your career. A lot of continuing education opportunities, a lot of promotional opportunities. So keep you educated about conference and meeting opportunities around the state. I tell people all the time, that's exactly what allowed me to promote in my career, was building the connections through these two associations and then going to these national conferences. If you come to our national conference and you are a member, you get a discount on your registration. So that's going to be over half of your membership dues there. But if anybody has any questions about becoming a member or what you might gain by being a member, just reach out to anybody on the board or Melanie.
Next up is Rick Thomas, our second VP, with a little more about EMP.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Is there anyone in here who plans to test in 2023? All right, we need to change that. So Tracy with On Scene First is starting her next study group on January 6th through March 31st. And this is going to be for the spring of 23 testing. That is a free study course. I highly recommend it. I can guarantee if you don't do a study course, you're not going to pass that test unless you're a whiz. Wait, Brian Drum did not do us. I'm sorry. Yes.
He's a whiz.
Yeah, he's a whiz. Previous sessions, if you're unable to attend them, are also on YouTube. You can go back and review those. There's also scholarship opportunities on her website. Several of our vendors, commercial partners, provide Carolina recording systems internally for North Carolina. And then NGA, Rapid SOS, and a couple others will do scholarships through On Scene First. If anyone has any questions about EMP, please see us after the meeting.
Sir? All right, I'm going to give the awards committee report. Do we have anybody here from Raleigh Wake that I haven't seen? Josh, can I sucker you to come up for just a second?
You do work there.
You're part-time. You work
Yeah. We have a part-timer here, so we'll get him to come up and accept on behalf. He is very happy with me right now. And I should not get it up, so thank you, Josh, for being a good sport. Thriller. Yeah. I did try to send him a text a few minutes ago. He's being good and not paying attention to his phone.
I got the text this evening.
All right, we'll hear a little more about this in detail when the Wellness Committee report comes up. But if you attended the last couple of meetings online or in person, you've heard that we have tried to start doing commendations and awards throughout the year to recognize folks in our industry for the good work that they do. And not wait just to the end of the year, as well as when we do those annual awards. They're really, really good, hard-tugging submissions in there frequently, and it's very hard to choose just one. So as part of our new program, we have our first two commendations that have been submitted from a PSAP. They both come from Raleigh Wake Emergency Communications in Raleigh. Whereas I'm sure all of you know, there was a terrible mass shooting in October there that resulted in the death of a Raleigh police officer and 4 other citizens, and 2 additional folks were wounded. That was quite the experience for their folks there. So we have 2 plaques that I'm going to stand with Josh and ask him to hold and accept on their behalf, and we'll get those back to Raleigh Wake later this week. All right, so the first here is a certificate that is for the entire agency, and it reads, this is a certificate of commendation proudly presented to Raleigh Wake Emergency Communications Center. On October 13th, 2022, our WECC staff responded to a mass shooting in the Haddinghead neighborhood of Raleigh. during which a 15-year-old active shooter killed 5 individuals, including a Raleigh police officer, Gabriel Torres, and wounded 2 others. In the hours that followed, an intense search ensued that included an exchange of gunfire between the shooter and multiple law enforcement officers, one of whom was wounded. The suspect, who was also wounded by gunfire, was successfully apprehended. And sorry, my contacts just got really dry as I'm trying to read this from the side. Throughout the incident, RWECC staff provided exemplary service as they worked tirelessly to process numerous harrowing 911 calls and coordinate a massive field response involving hundreds of responders. It is with a profound sense of gratitude that we recognize and commend their efforts to serve their community through the most extraordinary and difficult of circumstances. Josh, I'll let you hang on to that one. And then we have one more. Many of you have probably heard pieces of this call that I'm going to talk about. I unfortunately don't have it in its entirety to be able to play for you. But this call was in a lot of the newsreels that spawned out of this incident. One of their newest call takers, Chris Hollingsworth, took the primary call that you were hearing on the news there. And this is the commendation submitted by the operations management staff at Raleigh. This certificate is proudly presented to Chris Hollingsworth. On October 13th, 2022, your heroic actions as a first responder did not go unnoticed. You demonstrated courage, a sense of calmness and patience during a mass shooting event that touched many in the city of Raleigh as well as across the nation. It was because of your quick response and relaying the vital information that law enforcement and medical personnel were able to respond in a quick and efficient manner that ultimately minimized the impact to public safety during this horrific event. On this day and during this incident, Chris, you were the 911 hero behind the headset. On behalf of North Carolina NENA and the Raleigh Wake Emergency Communications Center, we thank you for a job well done. Take this guy's hand and say a special thank you, which we'll again say later. Our peer team deployed to Raleigh Wake after that, which you'll hear a report on. But Josh Robinson and the crew from Rapid SOS were also among the first to respond to help us with getting folks and resources to them, and really made a big difference. Josh is also a part-time employee at Raleigh Wake, and so we thank him for his service as well. Yes. Right. Please look at our website, ncnena.org. If you have someone in your center or even somebody in the private sector who has done something worthy of recognition, please fill out the form there and submit it. There are a lot of questions on it. You don't have to fill them all out, but we've tried to ask a bunch of questions to prompt you guys to be able to give good information or to let you know all the different things you can really recognize someone for. All right, next up is the conference committee report, and I will hand over to this year's conference committee coach, Joe Rogers.
Awesome. We had a great meeting yesterday with our conference committee and really starting to get things ironed out. Write down these dates, April 30th through May 3rd in Wilmington next year. Those of you got to attend last year, I think it was one of our greatest conferences in many years, even prior to COVID. It is an excellent location, excellent networking opportunity. We had great education tracks. It was just a very good time to get everyone back together again. So I'm hoping next year is even larger. As our membership grows, we are starting to get eyes on us from the national level. I would like to see our state conference continue to grow, to get more people involved, more vendors there. Again, everyone is welcome from frontline telecommunicator all the way up to executive directors. You have something to gain from this conference. Vendors in the room and those of you online, vendor registration will open up December 1, and then attendee registration will be open in January. The one thing that I cannot emphasize enough is when the hotel room block opens, you need to go on and register and go ahead and reserve a room. If you miss the conference rate, the hotel price is going to run you between $325 and $350 a night. That should tell you how nice a facility it is. Our conference rate, and Missy or Grayson might be able to correct me, I believe it was $159. 149-ish. So you can see the discount there that's going to save you a lot of money by getting those rooms reserved early. So if anyone has any questions, please find someone on the conference committee. Watch social media for APCO and NENA and also for the conference page, and we'll be pushing out more information.
Brian, can I say something about that?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to share with everybody, I had the opportunity in November to attend the APCO Nexus Conference in Washington, DC, and the Early Adopter Summit this week in Grapevine, Texas. And at both of those conferences, I heard different people say North Carolina has one of the top 3 conferences in the country. So people are noticing the work that's put in by this committee, so please support them and come to the conference.
All right, special thank you to Brian Drum, especially since it's his 114th birthday today. For reminding me that we are doing our meeting first this month, and that means they have lots of good things to report on our regional reports, which I left off the agenda. So I'll go first to our Western Region report from Brian Drum.
So good morning. I've got quite a long list this time. That's wonderful to be getting the feedback. Story McIntyre, Clinton County reports that they are currently down 4 positions. If you're interested in applying, clevelandcounty.com. Some of the benefits that they're offering $1.50 on the hour differential for anyone that has 2+ years of experience. They're also offering shift differential pay for $1.50 for night shifts. And she says that they have one of the best benefits packages across the state. Some projects they've got going on, they've got kickoff for Kid Tips and Safe Teens. Kid Tips targets the first grade population in their community schools and allows them the opportunity to come in and do brief education session with each of the classrooms, and also allows them to do simulated 911 calls for the students to participate. Safe Teens incorporates 911 education into the driver education course throughout the county. It allows them the opportunity to talk to teen drivers about some of the 911 and the technologies they use for drivers that might call in on 911. Both programs are seeing success, and they're excited for the wonderful community engagement. They just had a project kickoff meeting for their, probably gonna get this wrong, but Mac Alert Audio Voice Dispatch. They're super excited to roll that out to both their fire and EMS. Grant contracts are signed, and they are jumping in head first on their new 911 facility project. The team is excited and looking forward to watch the progress. Caleb Dempsey from Madison County reports that they're currently 3 positions down, and you can go to their website for more information. Stephanie Wiseman from Mitchell reports that she's asked that everyone keep Jimmy English and Sheila Duncan in their prayers. Jimmy has had 4 family members pass away in the last 2 months. One of them being one of his granddaughters in a tragic accident. Sheila's husband has been diagnosed with colon cancer and is waiting treatment plan. In addition to those 2, Mitchell County has one out on medical leave for at least 18 months, and another one that is leaving for the Marines. Stephanie's super proud of him. That leaves him 2 positions down and multiple part-time positions down. Bill Southers from Charlotte Fire reports that they have 9 openings. Chavella from the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians reports that they're currently 100% manned and they have no major projects in the pipeline. Bill Gibbs from Lincoln County reports that they are moving along with their CAD project. Hardware is being installed this week. Software is scheduled for next month, and they continue on working on the infrastructure. Green from Medic reports that they are currently 7 positions down. They are currently working on a CAD no share project with Charlotte Fire and the Q overflow work with CMPD and Charlotte Fire. Tuesday and Wednesday this past week, they hosted the Medic Knights of Honor, State Honor, paramedics, EMTs, and telecommunicators that have assisted in the return of spontaneous circulation for patients throughout Mecklenburg County. The award is cumulative, and it represents, the recipients receive a pin with the number of the return to spontaneous circulation that they've assisted in. And during this, they've been doing it for, I think, 12 years. Medic has had 5,694 of these awarded. That's an average of 500 a year. And their telecommunicator that has the most is Angie Johnson with 71, and she only has 6 years of experience, or 6 years with the agency. And she is super proud of her entire telecommunicator team. Todd Langford from Wilkes County reports that they are currently fully staffed. He's excited about that. And they have finally finished their transition to EZNet. This one kind of makes me sad, but Ray Gilliland with Cabarrus County reports that he is retiring March 1st. Travis McGee has been named the lieutenant, or has been named to fill the lieutenant's position. Travis has been a shift sergeant, communications operations manager, and is currently the radio system specialist. Chris White with
Mr. Bill, are you guys able to hear us online?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
we-
can hear you.
all right. We lost our video and audio momentarily. Bill, if you will go ahead with the Eastern Region report, sir, while I work on our video here.
Okay, Mr. President. Over in Beaufort County, Victoria Van Nortwick reports 2 open positions. She said apply through the county website. And she's also halfway through her hosted project, still working on that 98%. Over in Bertie County, J.W. Stalls reports 3 open positions. Also apply through their county website. And he's currently working with the 911 board on a grant upgrading radios. And next year, they're going to ask for a construction grant. They recently moved from being under the sheriff to being under the county manager and want to build a standalone center. My neighbor over in Bladen County, Laura Watts, reports she's fully staffed, which is good news for sure. Over in Brunswick County, Kim Lewis reports 5 open positions. Apply through the county website. They went live with EFD last week, and they're still working on plans to convert a building that has had several uses in its lifetime, a library, a perfume factory, and a few other things. But they ran into some issues, and it's not going to be as soon as they want it to happen. Over in Pasquotank, Camden, 911, Kylie Felton reports she is fully staffed. And you heard from Greg about the incident tactical dispatch TERT class that they're holding there for on the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. So anybody should be able to get registered for that, and it's on NC terms as he mentioned. Okay, in Carteret County, Jimmy McChipness still has 13 open positions, and would really like some applicants that would like to work there in Carteret County on the Crystal Coast, a beautiful place to work. It's referred to a lot of times as the Southern Outer Banks. It's in the Morehead City, Emerald Isle area. If you want to apply, go to the county website, and they are renovating their primary and just install new consoles there. And when I asked him who he wanted, he had anybody to recognize, he said his entire staff for hanging in during a very difficult time for their center and all the overtime and things that go along with that. Okay, let's see. Over in Columbus County, Felicia Jacobs reports 3 open positions, 1 retired and 2 on medical leave. So she could use a little help there. Apply through the county website. Columbus County is going to repurpose the BB&T building downtown to their emergency operations center and emergency management offices. And she told me in the very near future, Columbus County Communications will move to that building. The county deleted the deputy communications director position recently, so she's working on restructuring her admin staff. And Craven County, Stanley Kite reports he's fully staffed. Also, 2 of his staff have earned their advanced telecommunicator certification through Sheriff Standards. And he is installing new Motorola MCC 7500 consoles. Okay, over in the Outer Banks in Dare County, Captain Jack Scarborough reports he has 4 open positions. Also apply through the Dare County website. And he's going live on January the 10th with his new Spillman CAD system and locution automatic dispatch system. Okay, in Gates County, Heather Seeney reports she has full-time positions. Apply through Gates County website. She's also going to be installing MCC 7500 consoles and a new net club. And work continues on her backup center. Okay, in Hertford County, Felicia Gaston reports she's fully staffed. She's replacing new consoles. Stand by here a second. Okay, so everybody will get to see me here. And she is replacing 4 new consoles and servers that are end of life. Her PSAT will be sponsoring our QA/QI class. Details to follow or when they become available. And one thing amazing about this 911 center, they are extremely active in their community. In fact, when I called her to get her report, they were at an event at that very time. They're in the schools, they have booths at fairs, and just, they believe educating the public is one of the best ways to help people to understand what we do and help them. And it's a good recruiting tool too, she's told me. Okay, over in Hope County, Jimmy Stewart says he has 2 open positions. Apply through the county website. He's working on a CAD and pager interface with Central Square. In Martin County, Jason Stewart says he's fully staffed, no projects, but just very, very busy. In Pender County, Jackie Ezel reports 2 open positions. Apply through the website, didn't have any other news. They're busy as well. Anna Johnson in Washington County says she's fully staffed and has some open part-time positions. So go to their website for that. And she's currently working on a Viper upgrade with her rural fire departments. Okay. And in my center, we have 1 open position and 5 candidates currently doing their critical testing to see who advances. It's interesting, last year when I had an opening, I had to beg for applications. This year we got 10, so people are wanting to work again. I'm also pleased to announce 4 new shift supervisors, and I think they're with you today. They are Cynthia Moore, Kathy Hammonds, Stephanie Grissett, and Blake Locklear. Please congratulate them if you see them. And they recently completed their NENA supervisor certification in Wilmington. The only project I can think of is Lumberton and Robeson are in discussions with Central Square about a CAD to CAD solution. Okay, over in Robeson E911, right there where you are, Chad has 1 open position. Apply through the county website. He also sent 4 of his supervisors to the course in Wilmington recently and added 3 new CTOs. And I also saw, he could probably give you a little more on that, just recently an email that he has been awarded some new seats there that he's been wanting for a long time. All right, and the last one I have is from Cumberland County. Gene Booth there, Director of Emergency Services, has 5 open positions. They're in the interview process and will begin another telecommunicator academy in early January. And he's real proud of Adam Johnson, who is the Cumberland County 911 manager. He was recently awarded the Cumberland County Chamber of Commerce's Valor Award for his long service to 911 in Cumberland County and support of 4 first responders. Yeah, congratulations, Adam. And a long-awaited happening is about to come to fruition. On December 14th, I hope that's going to still be able to hold that date. Cumberland County Emergency Services and the 911 Center will move into their new building. I believe he told me it was 20,000 square feet. It's really been a struggle. There were a lot of roadblocks with supply chain issues, lack of construction workers and everything, but the day is almost here. That is my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Sorry, it helps if I unmute myself. Thank you, Bill, for a great report. And I think you got almost everybody in the Eastern region. So congrats, sir. All right. Before we move on to the Central region, and last but not least, Mr. Corey Bodie, I just want to share with you. The reason Corey's not here with us today is because he is at home with a brand new little one. They welcomed Rucker James on October the 13th at 7:22 p.m. weighing 8 pounds and 3 ounces and just 1/2 inches long. And they are healthy, happy, and doing good. So George joining us virtually as well for the Central Region Report, and everybody, be sure to congratulate him. Congratulate and see him or talk to him. Corey? Oh, Corey, you're muted, I think.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. My report's going to be short and sweet with just 2 agencies reporting. First off, it'll be Stephanie Chapman with Burlington Communications reports that they are fully staffed after 2 years. Javay Harris, Tessa Pinto, Ashley Kernodle, and Logan Manuel are in different stages of training and should be complete by early next year. Congratulations to Kenyon Harris with 20 years of experience and knowledge in the industry, was selected as the new Director of Communications, CAD RMS, and Technology, and will start on November 14th. Melanie Jones reports with Guilford Metro. They have 19 vacancies in their 911 center. They have issued a RFP for the new CAD and RMS replacement suite, and that should close on the 18th of the 21st. She would also like to congratulate, they have 2 new assistant supervisors, Casey Edwards and Danette McNeil. Congratulations to you both, and that is my report.
Thank you, Corey. All right. Moving right along, that brings us to our Wellness Committee, and us committee, welcome. And you can't get away sitting over there. You got to come over there so they can see you. Kaylee, Ashley, Emma.
All right, everyone, Monica doesn't have anything, so we're gonna keep on moving forward. On October 13th, at approximately 5:09 PM, a call for service came into the Raleigh Lake Emergency Communications Center for shots fired in the Headingham community. Unfortunately, this turned into an active shooter situation. This tragedy spanned over 4.5 hours, 1.9 miles. 21 agencies responded, and 51 calls were received by Raleigh Lake. And I apologize if I get a little pushy. The 18-year-old suspect was found and apprehended at approximately 9:36 PM. 5 individuals died. One of them being Officer Torres from the Raleigh Police Department, who was in his personal vehicle headed to the shift, and 2 others sustained injuries during this incident. Over 8 days, 5 NENA coordinated peers responded. 4 service dogs were brought in with the National Crisis Response Canine FEMA team and County EMS peer team. We met approximately 300 responders over 7 days, secured 44 individuals and 3 clinician referrals, and we coordinated CISD. During these 8 days, there were several tears, conversations, and 250 meals and snacks provided. Thank you to Rapid SOS, Rapid Deploy, Carolina Reporting Systems, Josh Robinson, and Officer Cody Hagler with the Knightdale Police Department for providing these meals and snacks. Our thoughts and prayers are still with everyone involved and affected by this tragedy as they try to heal. We are here as always. I can say personally, and I think this is why my emotions are all over the place. This hit close to home. I used to be an employee at Raleigh. Currently with the police department, so my officers and staff responded, as well as I knew majority of the people that took the calls that night and were there. So going back into that agency and seeing them was very humbling on very hard, and peer support was dear to my heart while I was there for the call that I received as a communicator. So going back second home at the time was very humbling, and I'm very of the mountains that were moved for these people as we still provide support for them today. And that is my update.
All right, so I'm the Eastern Region Director. Feedback off of what Ashley said, I was one of the ones that was able to respond up there. The Hanover County sent me two of our other peers. It was a very unique experience. These people were so grateful that we were there, and we are incredibly thankful that we were able to go and get them a meal. A lot of them were just happy to talk to us, and that's a huge thing about peer support. So I just want people to know that just talking to your colleagues and talking to other telecommunicators is the best way that you can help them through the hard situations. So I'm gonna give a little rundown about our retreat that I'm super excited about. This project has been my baby and they have all made this happen with, we have 15 spots open, 15 to 20, it depends how these interviews go. We had over 60 applicants, I think we were at 62. And that includes 4 from out of the state that we're not really sure how they found it, but 4 from out of the state. So we are going to be in contact with them, but we are going to keep it to North Carolina at this time for this first one. Our venue is secured. If you weren't at the last meeting, it is at a beautiful place in the Outer Banks in January. So we're super excited. We'll start our interviews this coming week. We have narrowed down our list to I think about 30 that we definitely want to follow up with. Everybody is going to get all the information, the donation out. So anybody who applied is going to get resources back, even though they aren't going to be able to come to these courses that we have started creating, which I think is an awesome thing. Get these people resources in their hands. So we are super excited to announce that we do have Tracy Gildridge coming in to do some speaking at the retreat. She has volunteered to come as long as we can get her there, because you know it is kind of in the middle of nowhere in January. But we're gonna make sure she can get there with us. So she's gonna have some really good courses. And then we are working with responder support services from the western part of the state. And they are embedded clinicians that we've got 2 of them coming that are developing the course content for most of the other time. So these people are going to get really valuable information, and they're going to be in contact with people that can help people and their colleagues in the future. So it's going to be a whole lot more than just education, and it's going to be great networking for these supporters. If anybody has any questions about the retreat, you can us. We are hopeful that it's going to be super successful and that we'll be able to do another one. Pretty much as soon as this one's done, we're hoping to start planning the next one. Yeah. We do have 11 corporate sponsors right now, which is phenomenal for this being our first time. So Ryan has been handling a lot of that for me because I'm not the person to ask for money. Just not my style, but Ryan, he will ask anybody about that. Hey,
Thank you, Ryan. We
Bye. If any of our vendors in the room do want to print us some pens or cups for the gift baskets, I won't say no. So, 15 to 20-ish is what we're aiming for. We should have we'll have our number for sure at the next meeting because we leave Charlotte and go right to the retreat. But it is. But let your people know to watch out. We're going to be posting more about it. Obviously, we're not going to be posting a lot about people while you're there, but we're hoping we can get some stories. But this is going to be life-changing for the people that are there. I can say that without a doubt. I think in our meetings that we've had with these people that are instructing, we've had some happy tears from how excited the content that we're going to get. We're going to be talking about breaking down the stigma of peer support and how it's not what you think it is. As I said earlier, it's just talking to your peers. We're going to be talking about a little bit about CISM, resiliency, and a lot of just learning about how your diet and nutrition and working out can help you be resilient. We're looking forward to it. I can't wait to share with you guys at the March meeting that we can talk about how awesome it is. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The only thing I want to add on Kayla's report is this is another reason that a lot of people from national, NENA, and other state chapters are keeping an eye on what we're doing. We've been blown away by the response from our vendors. Like Kayla said, if anyone in here wants to contribute, it's not just for this retreat, but it's building our funds for further more retreats in the future. But I think probably weekly or bi-weekly, Jason's gotten questions from our neighboring chapters from as far away from California, national NENA, and also a lot of state chapters are already asking for these ladies to come speak and present this plan. So I know this is going to be awesome. And I look forward to helping other chapters around the country duplicate this. So please, if there's anything you can donate to them, they've got supplies. We've got an Amazon wish list. Even if it's just some spare change, that adds up, helps us take care of our visitors.
Thank you guys for a great report. I'm gonna add just two. I can't remember if I mentioned or if Bill did earlier. The reason Bill's not with us today is he is across the state in the mountains taking an ICISF course to become a CISM certified professional peer. And that is a class that's taught pretty frequently throughout the state. You'll find it, yes, ma'am.
We teach it in the mountains, and it's normally very expensive. It's about between $300 and $400 normally when you take it. We have a group that donates money to us, and we can give them a class for $70. Literally, all you have to do is buy your books. They pay for our instructor to go to class to be able to teach this. And our clinical director for the peer support team teaches it on his own dime for free, takes time off from his practice to do it. So if your agency says, oh, I can't put the bill for $400 for you to take a course, we can get it for $70. And then if you need help for your room and board, if your agency's not willing to pay for that, when we teach it in the mountains, you can come and stay with me. I will live in the middle of nowhere, so if you're not used to that, don't come. But we can definitely try something out. Evelyn Charities assist with us to do that, and people donate to Evelyn for first responder groups, and they put that money in there. So they're really big on supporting one, law enforcement, fire, EMS, and they want you to get the classes. So if you have a need and your agency and you're not willing to support you in that, if you have 3 days off, we can get you in. All right. It's important, even if you don't ever plan to use it in public, doing group debriefings or anything like that, just having those skills to know what the problems are to be able to support the people that you work with and the people that you care about is important. So getting the training is super important.
She said she didn't have a report.
I don't have a report, but I'm just saying, like,
No,
don't let money stand in your way. We
that's
can help
right.
with that.
And Monica said that so much better than I was about to, so thank you for that. And it's also taught throughout the state pretty frequently. If you go to your terms account and look, and you can see that they also pair with community colleges so that you can try to use the community college route to do that for a reduced cost as well. That said, our peer team is currently 5 folks, and we are in need of additional professional peers. There are a lot of peer groups throughout the state that have literally hundreds of responders, but out of all of them, there is literally a handful of trained telecommunicators and other 911 industry professionals out there. We've really got to do some work to get those numbers up and peer our own folks. It's not that it's a separation and that firefighters and paramedics and law enforcement officers don't do a good job, but it is very hard to relate if you've spent your whole career as a field responder, what it is like to be on the other side of that call. And so your fellow 911 professionals out there need you. So if this is something that's near and dear to your heart, you want more information, please come talk to one of us. We'll help you find a class, get into it, get it paid for if we need to. But if that's your heart is taking you, you need to step up and go that route. That said, if any of you are interested and you do have peer support or CISM courses under your belt and have your certifications and they're active, come talk to us. Let's get you on a list. Let's get your certifications documented. That way, when something happens out there, it takes a village, folks, really, and we can get folks to those who need it. To that extent, I would like to share some sad news that I learned yesterday on the way here. Some of you may have already heard it, but Donna Wright, who is retired from Richmond County, called me early yesterday morning to tell me that Richmond County Sheriff's Office Detective James Canby suddenly passed away Wednesday night, on November the 16th, after a long battle with PTSD. Detective Handy was a former U.S. Marine, served at the Sheriff's Office since starting the Marine Corps. James was currently serving as a criminal investigator and was the Sheriff's Office Crime Stoppers Coordinator. Sheriff Coolidge asked that everyone please remember James's family, his work family, his friends, and especially his wife and his 2 beautiful daughters in your thoughts and your prayers. So we certainly are thinking about folks in Richmond County today. PSAPs, I encourage you to get a green card and send it to them. Take your kind words of support and to folks to know that they're being thought of. So we'll have more information there. I know groups from several levels in the state are working on peers for Richmond County. Please do not just show up there. In these instances, like anything else, is not a good idea, but please get with us, and we can help get you in the pipeline, get you coordinated if you're available. So again, we're still waiting for additional news there about peer response and also related to any arrangements, and we'll update those through our messaging platforms when we have that available. Next up on our agenda would be the historical committee report. Vic is not with us today and had no report, so we will move right along to Brian. Do you have anything for her? I didn't think so. All right, so we will move on to new business. I don't have anything on the agenda today for new business. Before we do our raffle drawing, though, for our retreat fundraiser for all the raffle tickets, I will give just a final call for anybody that has new business for the good of the association. Online to type the race.
Jason,
Yes, sir.
I don't know if this is the appropriate time or not. I have an announcement about CMCP. I think it may have been on the agenda, but another class that's being offered in North Carolina.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Bill, did you have the dates for that by chance?
I do. Just got an email from Angie. There's going to be a second CMCP class in Henderson County, March the 20th through the 23rd. She said she's going to be sending out information on that class after Thanksgiving. And they have a waiting list for the first class. Those people could be given first opportunity. But if the second class is anything like the first, once you see it, you better sign on then, because the first one filled up in about 24 hours. So March the 20th and 23rd in Henderson County. I'm sure the listserv will be pushing that out, as well as the regional directors. So that's my comment.
Thank you, Bill. Angie's here, smiling to give nod too. So thank you guys for putting that together. All right. Hearing no additional new business, we will move right on to the raffle drawing. This is literally your last chance. Is there anybody else here who wanted to get a raffle ticket before we draw? All right. So we have plugged all of your raffle to a spreadsheet that we have online. And our first grand prize is a Yeti Hall cooler. And then we have two additionals with a Yeti Hopper Flip, which is an 18-can cooler. And then we have a third assortment of Yeti tumblers to go as the third prize. And you do not need to be present to win, so this will be super quick. Just give me 2 seconds. All right. So we have 107 entries. So thank you guys for purchasing tickets. All of this money goes to support our wellness retreat. Any of that is left over will go to support the next wellness retreat. This is the first one. It's certainly not allowed to do this again as often as we can. And you know, we know there's a need. We have 62 applications, as we mentioned out there. And so all those folks that applied, if you didn't get into this first time, you know, don't fret. We'll be doing this again, and we'll definitely continue to consider your applications. All right, so we have a random number calculator here on my phone, generating a number between 1 and 77. And so the first winner, 166, which is just in battle, which is a ticket that I sold from Raleigh. So we will get up with it. The second one is 57, which is Kyle Griffin. He's for direct purchase on our Venmo account. So congratulations, Kyle. We will get up with you after the meeting. And then the third prize winner, which is the Yeti tumbler assortment, is number 45, which is Stephanie Farmer, also to get us sold in Raleigh. So I will get up with her. So congratulations to you three, and we'll get in touch with you after the meeting to get that out, to get that in to everybody that supported. We will be doing additional things again as well, but you can always, if you feel so inclined, make a donation in cash or in the Venmo account directly to the Wellness Fund. That will go to help our peer team deployments and wellness retreats. So if you have something that you have or a group that you have that maybe wish to support with that, please let us know. All right, with that, we will adjourn our meeting if permission to do that. Second. Anybody opposed? All right, that concludes this month's chapter meeting for North Carolina NENA. Thank you guys for joining us. Online, don't go anywhere. We're going to pause for just a moment. We'll be back with Rico in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Just give me those.
And also.
Let's keep talking. Right now. Everybody can hear me without the microphone. So we'll go ahead and this time I'm gonna call the November 2022 North Carolina APCO chapter meeting to order. My name's Herman Weiss. I'm the first vice president. Christina Moore, who is our president, was unable to be here today due to a family emergency. So please encourage our family in our thoughts and prayers. At this time, I will introduce the board. To my right is second vice president Shante Litchfield. Immediate past president Grayson Goosen. Our treasurer is Lori. Our secretary is Missy Azale. And then our chapter commercial advisor is Gary Hoffman. At this time, I would like to recognize the following groups. If you're called, if you please stand. Past North Carolina APCO chapter presidents. North Carolina APCO chapter life members. APCO International senior members. APCO International life member. Registered public safety leaders, our RPLs. Our certified public safety executive, our CPEs. At this time, I'd like to recognize our corporate partners, Motorola, AT&T, Carolina Reporting, Horizon Console, and Rapid SOS. Any first-time attendees? Thank you and welcome. At this time, the meetings from the September meeting of chapter were posted on the website. At this time, I'd like to take a motion to dispense of the reading of minutes and approved that are posted on the website.
So moved.
That's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Favor? All right, that passed. Personal advisory report, Gary Lawson.
I don't really have anything to report it out for both of us.
All right, sounds good. Compassionate Care, Janet King sent me a email and said that there was 5 cards sent out due to deaths. 3 cards sent out due to recent surgery and sickness, and 1 card thinking of you. She wanted me to remind everybody that if you know of an agency that is going through as death or somebody sick in that agency, to reach out to the North Carolina APCO board so we can send a card. If you can provide the names and some background of the situation, we can get a card in the mail to them. She also wanted to express her gratitude for the love and support, prayers during the loss of her father. So she said, thank you. Moving right along, conference committee report, Shante and Samantha Dutch.
Apologies. Okay. We have 13 submissions for presentations. We also have some interest in some keynote speakers. So if there's anybody that you guys would like to see as a keynote speaker, please let us know so that we can reach out. We are in our 5th grade hour about offering church training at the conference. And the message for speakers for call for papers is going to go out a couple times a week. Please share it on other forums We would really like to have some really good services. Anybody that's interested in it, anybody that you know, is encourage them to.
Thank you, ma'am. Executive Council report will be Gerald Anderson. She's online. She'll be reporting. Gerald, are you there? Gerald?
She's online. She's.
Anything from Burgess?
She says no, Mike.
No, Mike. Okay. We'll move to the historian report. Grayson Bruce is going to report that for sure. Right?
Actually, there's nothing to report on that.
Okay. All right. Training report was going to be Gerald Anderson too. But she has no mic, so we don't get to hear that wonderful training report. Treasurer's report, Lori Law.
In our main checking account, we have $50.59. The symposium account has $75.97. The scholarship account is $1,807. Money has $34,666.85 for a total of $37,000.41.
Thank you. So Christina didn't give me any kind of president's report, but an update on the membership. As of November 17th, 2022, North Carolina APCO currently has 1,633 members. And Melanie, I forgot anything else to report. I think I reported some of them in the meeting. Do you have anything?
Nothing
additional. Thank you. Old business is bylaw revisions and their revisions.
Right, just real fast, there's no major update. The bylaws committee is continuing to work on transitioning our current constitution bylaws to the bylaws and policy manual. Our goal is to have that to the board by January for review, and then open up membership for review and comments to be voted on at the chapter meeting. The chapter meeting in May of 2023 in Wilmington. So just be looking for that coming up first part of the year for membership to have an opportunity to comment and ask any questions.
All right. We have Gerald dialed in and I'll see if we can hear. Go ahead.
All right, Jason, can you hear me now?
You might mute your computer, but we can.
Let me do that. All right, is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you. I will, Herman, I think you asked for the executive council report first.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me just get that up on my screen. Good morning, everyone. Got quite a you that no more short reports for the executive council report. So here we go. Tier group membership dues will increase if you have not already gotten an invoice from $96 to $9,600. Then the different membership levels 1 through 4, as well as tiers 1 will also see a short dues increase. APCO continues to push to secure federal funding for Next Generation 911. So what they're doing is, since the House of Representatives have passed legislation that would establish a major grant program for NG 911 in July, APCO has been working to get more support in the Senate. The NG 911 legislation, which was included in the Spectrum Innovation Act, which would permit up to $10 billion from Spectrum auctions to fund NG 911. APCO has been focusing on members of the Senate advocating to increase the amount to $15 billion and allow the agency responsibility to immediately begin implementing the grant program even before auction revenue is available. They just got CPE program class number 14 selected. A total of 15 participants were selected from a pool of applicants, And that class will run from January 4 to July 21st of 2023, which they'll do the final capstone course July 10th through the 21st at the Daytona Beach, Florida offices of APCO headquarters. And then, of course, those lucky people will come to the big conference if they can for graduation. APCO continues to take strides to take membership numbers. As of October, total member numbers were 36,282, which is up from 2021, as well as group membership among our agencies is now 1,487, up from 2021. And our commercial group remains about the same with 54. Preparations are well underway for APCO 2023. On the vendor and commercial partner side, booth sales are going right on as planned. They've already sold 489 10x10 booths. The number of exhibitors, 150, and we one new exhibitor so far. If you are interested in speaking at the conference in August of 2023, the deadline for call for papers is December the 14th at midnight. So if you are interested, please go on the APCO International website at www.apco.org and look for the call for papers for the 2023 conference. Under events and corporate outreach, they did a Nexus event November 2nd, November 3rd, which attracted 134 attendees, and the event covered 5 real-life scenarios and how the 911 response could have been impacted by NG 911 technology. Coupled with these interactive panels was the 360 experience where sponsors demonstrated technological solutions discussed in each scenario. Some key takeaways that they learned at this event: the role of data analysts in the ECC is important to manage and analyze the large amounts of data the NG 911 technologies would bring in from social media and other sources. They also learned that NG 911 technologies can greatly improve the response to incidents that have dozens of calls coming in with conflicting information to determine whether each one was related to the same incident or subsequent incidents. And last, they learned that redundancies are vital when a single event takes down the communications of multiple centers at the same time to maintaining continuity issues. All right, so Mr. First Vice President, Vice President, with my Executive Council report. I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
Thank you, ma'am. I don't see any questions in the room. If you will go ahead with your report, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so as usual, and I report this every time, so just briefly, I'll say we are keeping our eyes on the numbers of COVID cases, as of course we're in the middle of cold and flu season, and I can tell you that per the EMS and medical community, we are having our worst season of flu ever. So that's making it hard to tell the difference between COVID and flu. So if you have any symptoms at all, you are encouraged to test for both. To that end, all on-site training classes may require the following. Students must wear a mask regardless of vaccination status. All students will be arranged for social distancing, so classes will have strict attending numbers, and those numbers may be lower than normal. We want to do training, and we want people to host training, and we will adhere to whatever the rules are at the given time this specific training site. If you do wish to host a class, or you'd like to see a certain topic offered in a classroom format or online platform, please don't hesitate to reach for anybody on the APCO board, and they'll get that message to me. We're happy to work with you to make the training a reality. The following opportunities are available. As you just heard in the conference committee report, the 2023 North Carolina Public Safety Communications Conference is scheduled for Sunday, April 30th through Wednesday, May 3rd at the beautiful North Carolina Convention Center. Presentations are engaged for Monday, May 1st, Tuesday, May 2nd, and Wednesday, May 3rd. As always, the committee is dedicated to providing our members and friends with the best in networking opportunities. And in 2023, the conference plans to continue to meet this standard. To make this the best experience for everyone that attends, we need you and your talents, skills, and knowledge to share with the attendees on the hottest topics in our industry. So if you are interested in being a keynote speaker, we also kindly request that you use the link that's been sent out multiple times and will continue to be so over the listserv. That helps keep everything in one place so that when myself and the committee sits down to look through all of the submissions, everything is where we need it. The call for presentations will be accepted through Friday, January 2023 at 11:45 p.m. We hope that you'll plan on joining us to be part of this great opportunity to share your talents and skills, as well as your knowledge with the members of our professional community and beyond. Please be on the lookout for more TTL and supervisor classes that we've had a list of agencies that wish to host, and so those classes will be scheduled and then be advertised soon. Some friendly reminders for everybody. As you know, effective July 1st of this year, all telecommunicators are required to have 40 hours of telecommunicator training. So as a reminder, if you work for a municipality or your communication center is run by a sheriff, your agency is required to have your communication staff go through the communicator certification course, which is under the sheriff standards umbrella. All other agencies can choose to do the telecommunicator certification course or other telecommunicator training that is equal to the minimum hours of 40. Now, with that said, for those of you that do the sheriff's training standards program, today is November the 18th, 2022. You have 1 month and 13 days to finish your staff's 2022 telecommunicator in-service training. If you do the training in-house, training lesson plans, PowerPoints, and handouts are available now to the North Carolina Justice Academy bookstore, or if you are an instructor and you have access to the instructor sign-in, you can download those things. It is required that all telecommunicators that work, again, rest of a sheriff or a municipality, as of July 1st, you have to take the sheriff's communication course. Everybody else to make a difference. It is required that all staff hired on or before June 30th of this year must take the 2022 in-service training. Everyone that you hired July 1st and afterward, they are waived for this year and may begin training with the rest of your staff in January of 2023. If you don't do these classes in-house, don't fret. Richmond Community College, Alamance Community College, as well as North Carolina Justice Academy offer these classes online. If you are an instructor, remember you must seriously test out of a class in order to teach it. Also, if you're an instructor, please do not forget to go to the North Carolina Justice Academy website, training portal, and do your annual instructor update class. This is how you keep your general instructor certification. All right, so please do not forget to do that. You don't want to have to go back to instructor training. The 2023 telecommunicator in-service, a minimum of 16 credit hours, has 6 lesson plans. You heard me, 6, that are mandatory to complete the required 16 hours, and then there are 3 additional choice selections for a total of 6 hours. So you must take the 6 classes, all right, that are mandatory, and then you get to choose from 3 2-hour blocks of instruction to finish up your 16 hours. Be sure that your staff does the 6 lesson plans that are mandatory to satisfy the certification requirement, and then anything else you add, that's a bonus. And as again, it bears repeating, if you are a North Carolina general instructor, please make sure you do the annual training January 1st of each year. It's 1 hour online. This is how and we're doing that to maintain our certification. If you don't do it, your certification will be revoked and you won't be able to teach. You no longer need to fill out those old forms and send them to renew, because you renew automatically when you in-service training with the 1 hour each year. If you need to renew instructor certification, you should get an email probably about 2 to 3 months before your certification is set to expire. But they will only accept the paperwork and process it within the month that you expire. Right? And then they don't send that certifications anymore or certificates that show unless you request it. So if you teach for multiple people and they need to have a copy of that, just send an email and say, I need a certificate that shows that I'm valid, so I can send that in, and they'll send it to you. As instructors, you are responsible for maintaining your own certifications and all the documentation. They don't keep up with that. Like I said, you may get an email that reminds you that you're getting ready to expire. But what I would urge you to do is put yourself remind yourself your phone with an alert about 3 months before you're set to expire, so that you can do things in a timely manner, because they won't hesitate to cut your thing. The telecommunicator certification course task analysis is still in process. As far as I know, the Justice Academy is working on updating the curriculums and that includes that review. Once the curriculum has been approved by sheriff standards and finalized, and new test questions have been written and designed, everything will then have to go into a content stage, and then they start the process over again before it can be finally approved for dissemination. And so my guesstimate is that you might see that in 2024 or late 2023. As always, it's our challenge to continue to provide quality training for all of our members across the state at a cost-effective cost. We thank you for our efforts by attending the training, and we want to widen our efforts. So please, if you have any requests that we can help you with, we are here to do so. That concludes my report, Mr. First President. I'll take any Q&A if anybody has any.
Thank you, ma'am. Do not see any questions. I thank you for your. Moving right along, we have no other old business. We'll now go into new business with the nomination committee with Committee Gibson.
So per our chapter bylaws, the immediate past president serves as the chair of the nominations committee. And our board did meet yesterday to approve the timeline for elections for this upcoming 2023 chapter elections. Nominations will be accepted January 1st through January 31st, 2023. Then the nominees will be verified and notified to attend the chapter meeting in May of 2023, which I believe is in Laurinburg. So you'll be able to introduce yourselves there.
No, March of 23.
Yes, it's March, sorry. Yes, March meeting. Then elections will elect meeting following that March meeting and be open through April 15th. And the following offices will be elected this year. We have second vice president, chapter secretary, regional ambassador for region E, region D, and region F. And as part of our upcoming bylaws changes, we are staggering the secretary and treasurer position, so they do not run on the same to help improve continuity. So with that being said, the executive board did vote yesterday to extend the treasurer's term by 1 additional year, so it'll not be elected again until 2024. The secretary will be elected in 2023. So just be looking for more information on that. And we said the nominations will open on January 1st. So that on the list serve on ready.
All right, sounds good. Does anybody else have any new business for the good of the chapter? All right. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn the meeting, please. Motion on the floor, a second. Second, all in favor? Aye. All right, the meeting is adjourned. Before we go, we are going to do our drawing for Toys for Tots. Also, just to let you know that our next meeting will be in Charlotte, which will be on January 20th. So if you did bring toys for Toys for Tots, you should have gotten a raffle ticket. If you did not get a raffle ticket for the amount of toys that you brought, please let me know. Everybody's got a raffle ticket for the toys that they brought. Right.
Right. I just want to thank everyone for participating in this Toys for Tots initiative. It was, of course, sponsored by North Carolina APCO. Our new bird, which is Communications Outreach and Engagement. We're excited about this. We had 60 toys collected today during the meeting, so I think you all should give yourself a. Additionally, our second initiative with CORE is going to be a statewide food drive. So please be on the lookout for that. It's going to be very helpful. We'll have everyone representing their agency, and it will go to your local food bank. So I'm really excited about that initiative, of course. So thank you so much for your participation, and we will do the drawing now for our six prizes.
The first door prize is an Altec Lansing mini life jacket Schultz Bluetooth speaker.
All right, that winning ticket is 0759882. Last three of 882. Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Next is a Zebra Elite 3 earbuds.
All right, so that is going to be last three, 833.
Will that be me again?
Check about it. Check about it. All right, last three of 872. 872.
Excellent. All right. All right. She says none.
Next is a 4K Google TV Chromecast device.
Last three is going to be 866.
866.
866.
Oh, that's
Yes.
With technology that happens.
All right,
Well, the next is a Lenovo smart clock.
and that's going to be for ticket 842. 842.
Next is P3 advanced noise cancellation earbuds. What else did we do with him?
Last three is going to be 823. 823.
Oh, Lord, it was so close.
Right, and the last grand prize, Lenovo Tab P11 Plus tablet.
I still back there. I'm starting to run.
Maybe you're doing great.
And the last one is going to be 863. Eight, three.
So excited. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Again, I want to say thank you to everybody that contributed toys to this. This is a very good cause, so thank you to everybody. Before we bless the meal, I also wanted to say, Shantae just celebrated her 40th birthday the other day. Also, Bryce, get ready to celebrate a birthday sometime very soon.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to the both of them. At this time, I'd like to ask Shantae if she would please bless the meal, and then we'll go eat some good food.
Lord, we thank you for this wonderful time of fellowship with some of the finest professionals in this state. We ask that you please bless the hands that prepare the food, allow it to be a nourishment and strengthening of our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
All right, that concludes everything. Are there any answers that we're ready to? So.